What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's good, everybody? What's going on, man? Yeah. Wake the fuck up Wednesday, y'all. That's what it's about. I know it says Mentality Mondays on there, man. Team got a little fucked up, but we all good, man. Wake the fuck up Wednesday, man. It's the middle of the week. It's that time when everybody starts dozing off and, starts hitting that weekend button. It ain't the weekend, man. It's the middle of the week, man. This is the time where you got to step it up even more. Hope everybody's having a productive, purposeful week, y'all. We going to get it popping, man. We going to get it popping. Let's go. Yeah. Gonna give everybody some time to jump on, man. Today we're gonna talk about something that's close to my heart, man. It's Overdose Awareness Month, and man, as most of y'all know, man, that's something that really hits home for me, man. So just wanted to jump on, share some stuff out here with y'all, man, and hope I could give some value here because that's what it's all about, man. I'm gonna give everybody some time to jump on, chime in where you coming in from, what city, what state. What borough, where you at, man? Drop it in the chat, man. Show where you representing from and whether you calling in from your house, your place of business, your car, whatever it is, man. Show some love. Let me know, man. We going to get it popping, y'all. I'm going to give everybody a minute to jump on and then we're going to get started. Let me know where you coming in from, though, man. Where you chiming in from, y'all? Yeah, this one's close to the heart, man. Because, man, I've been there with the overdose. I've been there with the drugs, man. Not just me, my family. I mean, it's been a lot, man. We're going to get into it, though. Because I believe overdose, it ain't just about a tragedy. It's not just a tragedy. It's a thief. I believe it's stealing mothers, fathers, leaders, friends, and it happens right in front of us while the world keeps scrolling past the headlines. Some of the most dangerous overdoses happen long before the drugs hit. They happen when we overdose on ego, secrecy, on the lie that, I got it under control. I believe that you're still breathing. You still got a shot. It's not too late, not just to survive, but to live free, live loud, and live sober and clean. So August is Overdose Awareness Month. And for me, this isn't a date on the calendar. It's not some hashtag. It's not once a year posts. This shit is personal. It's my life. It's my family. And twice, it almost became my obituary. I lost my mother to substance abuse. I lost my uncles. I buried friends. I've been on the floor with Narcan in my system, waking up, wondering how am I still here? And I know someone watching this right now or watching the replay is playing the same game that I played, thinking that they've got time, thinking they're in control. Let me tell you the truth. Addiction, that shit don't negotiate. It takes everything, and it takes it fast. Here's a reality check for y'all. Last year, over 100,000 people in the U.S. didn't come back. Their families never got to see them again. They weren't in alleys. They weren't all broken, homeless. I'm talking people who are executive, parents, athletes, leaders, people who were functioning until the day that they weren't. This addiction shit, it don't take favorites. It don't take certain kind of people. It takes anybody. And I wish I could tell you that I saw that shit coming. I didn't. 1 minute I was functioning. The next, I was fighting for my life. I went from Park Avenue to Park Bench. I lost everything. I even almost lost my life. I was emotionally, financially, and spiritually bankrupt. I'm 25 years old, making 7 figures a year. I should feel like I'm on top of the world at this point. But 7 figures a year? Nah, that ain't good enough. Because I live in a world with a belief system of never enough. I want more. I want 8 figures or 9 figures. I'm chasing that fast life. And at this point in my life, being spiritually bankrupt, money's the only higher power that I know. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make more money. I'm putting in late nights at the office one evening. And this dude, we call him Johnny Connect. We call him that because he had the connections to get his hands on anything you could imagine. Keep in mind, we're in New York. So this dude swears that he's part of the mafia. He sits down at my desk and he says, "Hey, Joe, you think you're a top producer now? Take this little round pill and forget about it. You're going to produce even more." Wall Street is also known as Drug Street. And everybody's doing some kind of drug. I'm already smoking weed, drinking, or having some kind of mind-altering substance in my body every single day for the past 10 years at this point. So I said, fuck it, why not? And that's when I got introduced to opiates. And that's when my battle with substance abuse took off to the next level. My life goes dark and becomes completely unmanageable. I'm risking my life every single day. I overdosed twice. The last time, it took 6 cans of Narcan to bring me back to life. 6 fucking cans of Narcan. That same night, I'm laying in the hospital bed. I wake up. I pull the EKG electrodes off my body. Leave the hospital against medical advice. And then when I get outside, it's the middle of winter. I'm in a hospital gown, shivering, looking like a crackhead like Pookie from New Jack City because of all the opiates that were being taken out of my system. And the first thing that I do, I go call the dealer again to go get high. A week or two later, my sister invited me for a self-help event. At that event, I don't remember exactly what it was, but something cracked open. I looked at my sister. She looked at me. And we both started crying. She knew exactly what I was going to say. And then the words came out. The words my family was waiting to hear for over a decade. I said, I don't want to do this anymore, sis. I'm a shell of my true self. I'm tired of writing my obituary. I want to begin creating my legacy again. After that, I made the most important decision of my life to go and get help to go get sober. And man, I'll never forget that ride to rehab. My sister's driving me and we pass a Starbucks. So I tell her, can we stop at the Starbucks so I could use the bathroom? When I got into that Starbucks bathroom, I had no intentions of actually using the bathroom. All I really wanted was to get high one last time. You see, I had all these fears racing around inside my head. I'm not thinking about the fact that I could leave my sister outside waiting because I die in that bathroom. I'm not thinking about the fact that I'm risking my life. I'm not thinking about the fact that my kids might never see their father again. Nah. All I'm thinking about is myself. How fucking selfish. I had a fear of going into rehab for the first time. I had a fear of the withdrawals that I go through without having opiates in my system. I had a fear of what life would be like without drugs because it's the only life I knew. All these fears caused was self-doubt, worry, imposter syndrome, anxiety, self-destruction. And man, I went into that rehab place called St. Christopher's. Place, I mean, there's just something there. It's undeniable. The spiritual presence that's there, you just can't deny it. But I walked in there broken, a shell of who I truly was. I get there, there's 180 dudes, no women. It's a 90-day program. I thought it was 30 days. I told my sister, there's no fucking way I'm staying at this rehab. She's like, just give it a chance. Give it a chance. Just stay for a little bit. I was like, all right, I'll stay for 30 days. But I'm not staying more than that. And she's like, yeah, all right, stupid. Knowing that I'm going to end up staying. They weren't going to come back and get me. So I got there. I stayed. First couple of weeks, I was absolutely mangled. Fighting with people. I got kicked out of the kitchen. I had a job. Talk about humility. I went from working on Wall Street, making 7 figures, crushing the game, to washing dishes for 180 fucking men for free. And I got kicked out of that kitchen for fighting, arguing. But that was the turning point because I had to go to something that was called A&B, Attitude and Behaviors. And man, that's when it clicked. That's when I learned that putting the drugs down, that was the easy part. I had to learn to peel back the onion and take stock of who I was. I had to learn to be able to look into the mirror and apologize to myself for all the damage that I did, all the destruction that I caused my family, the pain. I had to be able to learn to forgive myself. I had to learn to be able to peel that onion back and take stock of who I was and not just change my mindset. Nah, man. It was deeper than that. I had to change my identity. And thank God that place was a 12-step program and a fellowship, because those 12 steps didn't just become something that I went through one time. Now they became my principles of life, my foundation. I learned how to get fucked up every day. I wanted to make sure that I could stay sober. Repetition is the mother of skill. So I had to practice those foundation principles every day. And thank God I learned the difference over there, because listen, man, I learned the difference between religion and spirituality. I learned to be able to build a relationship with my higher source that I call God, whether you call it the universe, the infinite intelligence, whatever you believe. And I learned to be able to build a relationship with, today God's my father, my mother, my uncle, my best friend, my everything. And when I put that spirituality first, man, the doors that open, the mountains that get moved, it's incredible. And after achieving sobriety, I was able to build another multi-million-dollar business in the financial industry. And even though I was crushing it and living this incredible life, something was missing. God kept nudging at me and pulling at me, telling me that my journey's not complete and that I had more to accomplish in life. You see, for years, I kept asking God, man, how do I give this back to you? I can't give it back to you in a physical form. You don't exist physically. There's not enough thank yous in the world to express the amount of gratitude that I have for you saving my life. Not just the 2 times that I overdosed. What about all those times that I drove home and don't remember how I got home? Those aren't coincidences. Those are God incidences. And through this journey of spirituality, personal development, sobriety, I've learned with spirituality, it's not just about, there's a higher source involved, got to connect. Higher source greater than yourself is going to bring you to unlock your fullest potential. But spirituality is also about being able to listen with yourself, sit with yourself and listen and pay attention to that still voice that connects with you, or the way that higher source connects with you through different avenues of life. And as I kept asking this question, God kept nudging even harder and kept telling me, you know that story that you got inside you? The story that I saved your life for? That story don't belong to you. I didn't give you that story for you to hold it inside. I gave it to you for you to go out there and create impact with it. If you hold that story inside, you're just being selfish. And that shit hit me like a ton of bricks. And that's when I decided enough's enough, man. I'm not going to argue with the man upstairs because I'm never going to win. And that's when I decided to build this Reforge Academy platform. And let me tell you, there's no drug, no alcohol will ever give me that euphoric feeling that I get when I'm able to empower someone to transform their life. That's the gift that keeps on giving. That's where I was able to find my purpose. Man, walking out of that fire, I realized survival is not enough. If you survive, but you never change, you're just buying time for the next time. Sobriety is more than not using. It's building a life you don't have to escape from. Sobriety is a lifestyle. And for me, that comes down to 5 non-negotiables. And I live by this code every single day. And it's the code that keeps me alive. And I call it SOBER. S-O-B-E-R. The S is for spirituality. You can't fix a spiritual problem with mental tricks or physical discipline alone. Addiction is a war for your soul. And if you're unplugged from that source, whether you call it God, the universe, the infinite intelligence, whatever you believe, if you're unplugged from that source, you're fighting empty-handed. For me, spirituality isn't a belief. It's not a belief that I just visit. It's a relationship that I live in. It's daily surrender. It's daily alignment. It's daily conversation with God. That's prayer. That's meditation. That's time in word. That's gratitude. That's worship and listening to direction and paying attention when God's giving me those different signs. I don't just ask God to keep me clean. I ask him to keep me clear. Today, I ask my higher source to come into my challenges with me and give me the resilience to overcome those challenges, to come into my self-doubt and give me the confidence to be able to overcome the self-doubt. Because guess what, y'all? I'm fucking human. I still come up with self-doubt. I still worry. I still come up with comparison. But you know what? When I connect with my higher source and ask him to come into those challenges with me, something happens. And those challenges slowly part ways. And I start becoming the best version of myself that I could be. I start becoming clear on who I am, why I'm here, and who I'm serving. This shit ain't easy to wake up every day and be of service to everybody and go out there and put on a face like everything's okay. There's days where shit gets fucked up. I got to be able to navigate through those bumps in the road. And as long as I'm able to navigate through those bumps in the road, guess what? That's progression. I don't got to worry about perfection. Perfection's an illusion. I'm progressing every day. That's the win. Your sobriety will never be as strong as the source that you're plugged into. Without him, I'm just white knuckling it the whole way through. I'm holding my breath until I slip up. Without him, life gets fucked up for me, man. I got no direction. But with him in my life, when I'm connected and plugged in, oh man, I breathe differently. I walk differently. I live differently. My swag is different. And the O stands for obedience. Obedience is doing the thing that you know that you're called to do, especially when you don't feel like it. It's saying yes to the habits, the people, the standards that keep you in purpose. Early in my sobriety, there were days that I didn't even want to pray. I didn't want to call my accountability partner. I didn't want to show up for commitments. Those were the exact days obedience mattered the most. Thank God I showed up. Freedom is forged in the moments that you want to quit, but you choose not to. That's obedience, y'all. And it keeps the door To relapse, it keeps it locked. So now the B. The B stands for boundaries. This one is vital. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're gates to protect what's inside. In the beginning, my boundaries were extreme. I couldn't go to certain places. I had to cut off old friends. I skipped family events where substances were going to be around. Some people didn't understand. I didn't care. You know why? Because they weren't the ones that had to live the life that I lived. They didn't have to live with the consequences if I fucked up and slipped. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. Your boundaries are not punishment. They're a lifeline. So if you got people around you that are doing shit that you don't want to be around, you got to say no. You got to create that boundary, which brings me into the E, which is the environment. You can't plant a new life in the same soil that grew the old one. You got to kill that old one. Your environment will either sharpen you or it's going to sabotage you. I had to change my circle, my routines, my spaces. I swapped out people who drained me, who drained my energy, brought that catabolic energy, and I pushed them out. I cleaned up my home so I felt like a safe place, not a reminder of old habits. I changed what I consumed online, because what you feed your mind eventually feeds your cravings. If your environment doesn't match your vision, that shit's going to destroy you. Let me tell you something. Growing up, my family had a saying, which was, dime con quien te andas y te digo quién eres. I never really paid attention to what that meant till later on in life. It means, tell me who you walk with, and I'm going to tell you who you are. You want to be around people who will inspire you and challenge you to go out of your comfort zone. If you surround yourself with people who will always inspire you, then guess what? You're always going to be inspired to do more with your life. Having a support group is vital. That's your environment around you. You got to surround yourself with the right people, be in the right places so that you could grow, not shrink. And the R stands for responsibility. At the end of the day, nobody's coming to fucking save you. The people who love you can support you, but they can't make the choices for you, man. I mean, my people around me loved me to death. And they tried whatever they could to get me sober. But they couldn't save me. I had to save myself. I had to be ready to say, you know what? I'm ready to make this change. My past may not have been something that defines me. It's definitely not something that defines me, but my future is my responsibility. That means my own habits, my own thoughts, my circle, and my next move. Responsibility isn't about blaming yourself for the past. It's about taking the steering wheel now, because you don't just drive. If you don't drive it, it's going to pass right by you. And let me tell you something. I don't regret my past. People always ask, man, do you regret your past? And I say no, man, because you know what? My past helps me become who I am today. So I say thank you to substance abuse for making me the man that I am today. I say thank you to substance abuse for bringing me closer to my higher source that I call God. I say thank you to substance abuse for giving me a platform to be able to go out there and create impact. Because if I didn't have those fuck ups, if I didn't have those slip ups, if I didn't have those overdoses, guess what? I wouldn't be here talking to y'all right now. I wouldn't be walking and living in my purpose right now. I'd be doing something different. God chose me to do this for a reason. And it's my duty as a spiritual being living a human experience to go and do it, to take on the assignment. And I take it on. I take it on, man, with pride. I take it on with joy. I take it on with like a code of honor, man, because the fact that my higher source chose me and trusted me for this mission to save my life and say, you know what, I got more for you. Nah, man, that's a responsibility that I love to take on. And for some of you right now, this today isn't enough. You're ready to put this into action. Some of you guys out there might have somebody out there who's struggling right now. Somebody who doesn't know how to bounce back. Share this with them, because it's not about just you. It's about the people around you that you could save, that you could help. This overdose awareness shit is real, man. This is a fucking epidemic out there. And nothing's being done about it. I mean, over 100,000 people lost their life last year. Just on overdose alone. We ain't even talking about substance abuse. We ain't even talking about alcohol. We're talking about just opiates alone. That's some scary shit, man. It's not a fucking game out there. And it's not getting any better. So here's what I'm doing, man. I'm giving away a handful of Reforge activation calls this week. These are one-on-one sessions where we're going to lock in on your clarity. We're going to build your boundaries. And we're going to give you the exact blueprint for living the sober framework in your life. And you don't got to be all fucked up in the game on drugs to be living that sober life. So if you're ready to take your life to the next level, DM me the word Reforge. And as soon as we wrap up the live, I'll pick up from those messages and I'll get you on the calendar. You got to apply for the call, no cost, no strings. It's just my way of pouring into the people who are serious about moving from survival to leading their life again. You don't got to be all fucked up in the game to be living in survival mode. Living in survival mode, that's for the birds, man. You ain't living just to survive. You ain't here just to survive. You're here to lead. You're here to live in your purpose. That's what God created you for. It's your duty to go out there and find what your purpose is. If you don't care, come on, man. Stop embarrassing yourself. You were born for better than that. You deserve better than that. Sober ain't just a word, y'all. It's a daily decision. Remember, spirituality, stay connected to the source. O, for the obedience, stay aligned even when it's hard. B, guard your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. E is for the environment. Put yourself where you could grow, not where you could fill. And R is for the responsibility. Own your next chapter like nobody else will. I should have been gone twice, y'all. But I'm here not because I'm lucky, not because I'm strong, but because God's not done with me. God had more for me, and he's got more for you. And if you're still breathing, he's not done with you either. Don't wait for rock bottom. Some rock bottoms are 6 feet deep. Live the sober framework now in your life while you still can, y'all. Man, I love this topic. It's something that I hold dear to my heart. Brandy, Tone, I see y'all. Yeah, it is part of my journey, Brandy. Tina, Hollywood, Maria, love y'all, man. Thank y'all for coming through. And listen, man, share the video with somebody when it goes on the repeat, on the replay. So because somebody out there, it could save their life. Somebody out there could be struggling today, and they need to hear a message like this. Stay productive, stay profitable, stay purposeful, y'all. And most importantly, stay blessed. See y'all next time.